Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back with my ranking of all 6 movies in the Home Alone franchise. As you will probably know after watching our videos over these last 2 weeks, Jason and I watched the entire Home Alone franchise. There are 6 Home Alone movies in total, and this limited edition paint can set contains 5 of them. It includes Home Alone and Home Alone 2 on both Blu-ray and DVD, Home Alone 3 on DVD, Home Alone 4 Taking Back the House on DVD, and Home Alone The Holiday Heist on DVD. It also includes some other extras as well. It's a really cool set. The only movie not included is Home Sweet Home Alone, which is Home Alone 6, because that's a Disney Plus streaming exclusive, and it has never received an official physical release. If you're unaware of that one, Jason and I recently discussed it during our Seldom Seen series, so please be sure to check out that video if you haven't already. In this video, like with all of my other rankings, I will start with my least favorite and work my way to my favorite Home Alone film. Jason will be ranking them as well, so please be sure to check out his video to see how his ranking compares to mine. And as I always like to state, please keep in mind this is just my personal opinion, and you don't have to agree or even understand. I base my decisions on criteria such as nostalgia, rewatchability, and overall enjoyment. So, here we go. This is Home Alone, ranked. In last place, which is 6th place in this franchise, I actually have to go with Home Alone 3. Now, I do want to be clear, there is not a dud in this series. I like all of the Home Alone movies. But obviously, when it comes to a ranking video, I have to choose which ones I like more than others. I saw the first 3 Home Alone films in theaters, which were the only 3 movies in the franchise to receive a theatrical release. So, of course, that includes Home Alone 3. I really enjoyed it at the time, and have continued to enjoy it over the years. This one never claimed to be a direct sequel to the first 2 Home Alone films. This is a standalone sequel. It's a fun story, Alex is a great protagonist, the villains are awesome, as are the traps, and I like the new storyline established for this one. Even with all of that being said, I still like the other 5 movies more. So Home Alone 3 comes in last. In 5th place, I have Home Alone Taking Back the House, which is Home Alone 4. Jason and I recently gave this one a positive spin, since it's the lowest rated Home Alone movie in the franchise, and I wouldn't even call it lowest rated. A 2.6 means it's hated. People do not like this one. I discussed it at great length, however, in that positive spin video, so please refer back to it to hear my thoughts. I love that this one is Home Alone in a smart house. It's high-tech Home Alone. Plus, it was the first film in the franchise to have a legitimate twist. There is a lot I love about Home Alone 4. I just love the others more. But hey, at least I have it ranked higher than Home Alone 3. Home Alone Taking Back the House comes in at number 5. And speaking of 5, Part 5 is up next. Home Alone The Holiday Heist is in at number 4. While watching this one, I was pretty much convinced it would end up at number 3, because I really liked it. I had seen the first 4 Home Alone movies numerous times, especially the first 2. But this was a first-time watch for Home Alone The Holiday Heist. This one stars one of my favorite actors, the great Malcolm McDowell. It's not just a small cameo either. He's the main villain. I remember when this movie was in pre-production, and there were rumors that it was going to be a Halloween-based Home Alone film. Of course, it ended up still being set on Christmas, but when you watch it, you can understand why they almost went in that direction. Our main character in this one has just moved into a supposedly haunted house. It's not just a throwaway subplot either. It's a huge part of the story. In fact, the movie sort of revolves around that. We went from Home Alone in a smart house to Home Alone in a haunted house. People have joked about the original Home Alone having a horror element with the South Bend Shovel Slayer, and people have even brought up certain scenes in Home Alone 2 being very dark. But if any Home Alone movie has true horror elements, it's the holiday heist. I mean, haunted houses get decorated for Christmas too, don't they? This one does. There is so much I'd love to say about this one, but I don't want to make this video too long. I do wish Jason and I had covered it for the Seldom Seen series. Of course, there's another movie in this franchise that fit that series even more. Home Alone: The Holiday Heist, or Home Alone 5, is in 4th place. Because up next, at number 3, is that Seldom Seen sequel, Home Sweet Home Alone, which is Home Alone 6. This is the movie Jason and I discussed during the Seldom Seen series. And for good reason. No one even knows it exists. This is the one film in the franchise that does not have a physical media release. It's a Disney Plus streaming exclusive. I talked about that though in my Seldom Seen series video, along with a lot of other things. But just to repeat a few, Home Sweet Home Alone directly connects to Home Alone and Home Alone 2. Kevin is even mentioned a few times, and Buzz is in the movie. And along with possibly being the most brutal when it comes to the traps, in my opinion, Home Sweet Home Alone is the funniest in the franchise. If I could, I would rank it higher, but I can't, so it's number 3. Guys, I truly went back and forth with this, up until this exact moment, when I made my decision. Coming in at number 2 is the original Home Alone. This here, by the way, as you can see, is my Family Fun Edition DVD, which contains a ton of special features, which I'm sure are also included in that paint can collection. My number 1 and number 2 are pretty much interchangeable, depending on my mood, I guess. I watch them every year around Christmas time, usually multiple times because they're always on TV. One year, this one is my favorite. The following year, what I have as number 1 is my favorite. Like I said, they're interchangeable. I obviously have a ton of nostalgia for the original Home Alone. It's very quotable, and I love this movie. I saw it in theaters, and it's a Christmas classic of my generation. There's no denying that. It's the family-friendly Die Hard, and I love that movie too, which is also a Christmas movie. The original Home Alone is in 2nd place in my ranking, which means my number 1 favorite movie in the Home Alone franchise is Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Last week, Jason and I discussed this one for Controversial View. And I mentioned in that video that I think this is one of the greatest sequels ever made. It basically takes everything that worked in the first film and does it again, in a bigger setting. Just as I have a ton of nostalgia for the first one, I also do for this sequel. I remember being so excited when this was first released. I saw this one in theaters on opening day. And then I even got an early copy of the VHS from a friend who owned a local video store at the time. I remember going home that night after school and watching it again. I couldn't wait. I really was going back and forth between this one and the original for my top spot, but I'm satisfied with my choice. As of right now, I think I made the right decision. But who knows? Next year, it may change again. That just shows how strong this franchise is, especially these first two films. Plus, this one has Donald Trump. Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, is my #1 favorite movie in the Home Alone franchise. So, there you have it, guys. My ranking of all 6 movies in the Home Alone franchise. What do you think? How would you rank these films? Comment below and let me know. And please don't forget to check out Jason's video to see how he has Home Alone ranked. Which franchise will we rank next? Check back after the 12 Days of Christmas, and maybe next year, to find out. Until then, remember, physical media matters. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and be kind. Subscribe.